Hi everyone. So in this demo, I'm going to show you a little bit of a survival analysis implementation in Python. I'm currently working on a project for my data mining course that involves survival analysis. And what this is a method by which statistics are used to model and predict durations or the time it takes for a certain event to happen. And it was first developed by medical professionals and actuaries to answer questions like how long will a baby born today live? Or which treatment, A or B, will help patients live longer? Traditionally, it was only applied to actual births and deaths, but modern survival analysis studies how long leaders stay in office, how long someone will be a customer before canceling a subscription, or even how long a couple will stay together before breaking up. So in this example, I'll start by loading up the package I'm going to use called Lifelines. This is implementation of survival analysis in Python. Here I'll load up this data set as an example. And so this example data set it comes from a study where prison inmates released from Maryland State Prison were released and followed over the course of a year. And half of the 432 inmates in the study were given financial aid after they left prison, and the other half was the control group, which received no aid. And so survival analysis was used in the study to see if these people uh, were arrested again and how long it would take for that, you know, arrest to happen if it did. And so here in this data set, we have a couple of attributes for each of the prisoners. So each row represents what prisoner, and the week attribute here is the week out of the year in which they were arrested and whether or not the arrest happened. 1 if it did happen, 0 if they were not arrested. So here, as we see, prisoners 3 and 4 made it to week 52, so they made it through the whole year without being arrested, while these people were arrested at specific points. So here with this code, survival analysis takes both the duration and a little flag saying whether or not the arrest happened, and we can create a nice graph depicting the survivability of each of these inmates, in which case this graph can be read as the y-axis is the probability. So from this one only shows the range from 70 to 100%, and then the timeline, so this is the 52 weeks. So here we can read it as this is the probability that someone will survive past week 20, so that's about 90%. And down here, the probability that someone would survive or not be arrested past week 50 is about 75%. So as we see, as time goes on, the probability to be arrested increases over time. Another cool thing about survival analysis is that we can group the different inmates based on those features. So in this example, I took out of the whole population, I grouped them up by what the study was trying to show, where the people that received aid tended not to be arrested as soon as the people that didn't receive any aid. So if people have more access to money, maybe they won't be inclined to commit a crime in order to, kind of get by. And here again, I separated them by whether or not the inmates were married or unmarried. And here we saw that people that are married, maybe they have a family or something, maybe they're less inclined to commit a crime and go back to jail. But the coolest thing about all of this, though, at least in my opinion, is that this package that I'm using called Lifelines was created by this guy who was the head of data science at this Canadian company called Shopify. And he had a statistics background, and he noticed that there was no survival analysis library available for the Python programming language, which is what I'm using right now. So he and his team he got his team together and created it. So if you go to GitHub you can actually see all of the code that he and his team developed. And this is basically what I downloaded when I ran this line up here, pip install lifelines. I downloaded all of this code. And what's great about GitHub and open source projects is that anyone can contribute to it. And so it helps the community out, and the community can give back and also contribute in enhancing and developing more features for the projects. And that's what I really like about the tech industry. I mean, you can create so many cool, useful open source software that everyone can work on and kind of build together. I wouldn't be able to do this project for my data mining class if this wasn't out there, since there's no other Python implementation that I know of. There are other survival analysis implementations for other languages like R and SAS, but not for Python. And I'd say another great thing about tech is that as long as you have like a computer, an internet connection, and of course time, there's infinite possibilities for what you can create. So thanks for watching my demo.